The $10 trillion man, he has bought everyone. On April 6, 2023, protesters in Paris stormed BlackRock offices. They brandished red flares and fired smoke bombs. The French took to the streets to protest a pension reform. But what does BlackRock have to do with it?
The meaning of this action is quite simple,
said a union spokesman.
We went to the headquarters of BlackRock to tell them the money of workers for our pensions, they are taking it.
That's because BlackRock is the world's largest money manager. The company manages $10 trillion in assets. It has an annual revenue of $20 billion. It's one of the biggest shareholders in almost every major company. It's also one of the biggest lenders to companies and governments. It also manages retirement funds of 35 million Americans. BlackRock is headed by Larry Fink. His personal wealth is about $1 billion, but his influence in the world is unprecedented. So who is Mr. Fink? Lawrence Douglas Fink was born in Van Nuys in 1952. His dad owned a shoe store. His mom taught English at California State. Fink studied no economics. His UCLA major was political theory. He tried and failed to make it on Wall Street. Instead, he went to First Boston, where he traded mortgage-backed bonds. Over the years, Fink built a fiercely loyal team. He became one of the best traders. It all came crashing down in 1986. Fink's desk lost $100 million when interest rates fell. He was forced to quit. 2 years later, he co-founded Blackstone. The investment management firm has grown steadily ever since. In 1994, it became BlackRock, and in 1999, it went public. Its influence grew bigger with every year. In 2003, Fink arranged the resignation of Richard Grasso. Grasso was the CEO of the New York Stock Exchange. He was forced to resign over his $190 million pay package. In 2006, Fink led the merger with Merrill Lynch Investment Managers. This doubled BlackRock's asset management portfolio. That same year, BlackRock bought a swanky Manhattan housing complex. At $5.4 billion, it was the largest real estate deal in U.S. history. BlackRock has developed its own stock market software. It's called Aladdin. Aladdin analyzes and tracks investors' portfolios for risk. BlackRock started selling Aladdin in 1999. Today, it's used by the world's top fund managers and insurers. Another BlackRock user is Japan's government pension fund. At $1.5 trillion, it's the world's largest. Even Apple, Microsoft, and Alphabet rely on Aladdin. In 2014, BlackRock celebrated its business, crossing the $1 trillion mark. A company executive wore a suit made to resemble dollar bills. He called it the $1 trillion suit. Larry Fink prefers to keep a lower profile. He mostly communicates through letters and speeches. Fink has been married to his wife Lori since 1974. She was his high school sweetheart. The couple has 3 children. The Finks own homes in Manhattan, upstate New York, and Colorado. Fink is a lifelong supporter of the Democratic Party. He is also a major donor of the NYPD. He is also a big believer in sustainable development. In 2020, Fink angered many clients. He announced environmental sustainability as a core goal for BlackRock's investment decisions. Some businesses have accused him of misplaced activism. Environmentalists are accusing him of hypocrisy. But with $10 trillion in assets, BlackRock doesn't care.